So that is the idea. But as a yajna you perform, you are liberated. So anything can be yajna. I always say, you brush your teeth, consider it as an yajna. You're cleaning your teeth so that when I pass by, I have a nice fresh breath coming from you. How do you want to present yourself to God? If God comes and says, I want to look at you, you're not going to go unshaven and without brush, unkempt, or wearing some dirty, unironed clothes. You would make the best presentation. That is yajna. You are not doing it to impress somebody in the audience or impress anybody else, or even for the pride of being to look beautiful. You're simply doing because you should be presentable. This is the best you can do when you want to see God or when God looks at you. So I insist, please shave and come. Please have your clothes ironed. Please have all the buttons in place. Please comb your hair. Please have bath and things like that. Because that karma is also yajna, if you take it with the right spirit. Don't do it to impress somebody. Don't do it for looking better than what you are. All that are lower ideas. Anything, when you're studying, do it as a yajna. Why should I study and become whatever I want to become? So that I can be of use to God. I can be of use to people. That's yajna again. Anything can be done as a yajna. Yajna is not to set up a fire altar and then learn mantras and put samit and all that. No. That's karma kanda. I'm talking about yajna. Yajna is an attitude to offer everything to God. So he says, the great Prajapati, the Brahma himself created this idea of offering everything to God. Sa yajna praja srishtva purovacha Prajapati anena prasavishyadvamesha. So he says that the Prajapati creator in the beginning itself created the whole thing as an yajna. We had to offer everything to God. Even income tax department doesn't spare if you don't pay back what they deserve. But God, He compassionately forgives us and we keep on taking God for granted. So you should always remember that, because bhunjate te tvagam papa ye pachantyatma karana. Those who eat for their own selfish sake, they are eating sin. They're eating sin, sinful things. It may not be a non-vegetarian food or something. Sin does not mean you killed somebody and ate it. Sin means even a pure vegetarian or a vegan food not offered to God is a sinful food. Likewise, our idea of scriptures of offering everything to God, every action to God is so deep rooted in our culture. And paroksha priyaha vai devaha, these gods are, or the forces of nature are available, are present, and they accept these offerings. And they in return bless us, like a father who brings a kg of sweet from the market on his salary day and gives it to the child and says, go give it to your mother, let her give it to everyone. So the child runs with a box of sweet, goes to mother. What does the mother do? She opens the sweet box, takes out 2 pieces, puts it on a plate, gives it to the child and tells, go and give it to your father. And the child runs back to the father and gives 2 pieces of sweet out of the whole box. And father becomes so happy. Look at my child, he thought of me, he brought this sweet. Next time again he wants to bring sweets because he wants to experience that love of that child. Get up and walk around and do some work. This is what I am trying to tell those people who claim that they would rather meditate in their rooms but not come to work in the offices or in the field or anywhere that I give them work. They say, no, this is all karma. I don't want to be bound by karma, you see. I'm here to attain jnana and sit in my room and meditate whole day. This chapter is especially directed straight towards such people who have such ideas. And he says, what kind of these are? Nitya Vairina, they are your constant perennial enemies. Not that they are enemy on Sunday and Monday they'll become your friends. Your desires and angers are your enemy forever. So get rid of them, he says. Kama rupena kaunteya dushpurena nalena cha. Very important. He says this is like an insatiable fire. Some people say, I have developed this desire. If I fulfill this desire will disappear. Never it happens. If you put more ghee in fire, fire is not going to be satisfied. It will ask for more. See, some gurus have this philosophy. Let them do what they want to do, because once they'll get fed up with it, that what you call the concept of, we have that, marginal utility concept. You eat too many sweets, you don't feel like eating sweet. Maybe not on that day. Next day you'll again feel like eating. So, dushpurena analena cha. It is like a fire which cannot be satisfied. So, don't try to fulfill desire to overcome desire. The only way to get away from desire is to get rid of it and develop selflessness, is what he's saying. And he says, where do these desires breed? They breed in our senses, mind and buddhi. They are a breeding ground, like our water, stagnated water is breeding ground for mosquitoes. Desires breed in our indriyas, our mind and a bad buddhi out of sattva guna. Everybody is acting. Whether you dislike or you don't like, whether you want or you don't want, whether you know or you don't know. Everything is action in this world. And Ashtavakra puts it so beautifully. Those who have ego identity within themselves, I am so and so. Such a person performs action even when he does not perform an action. Only the person who has no ego, no identification with the body and the mind, such a person, even while he is performing the action, is not performing any action. Krishna goes on to say that nevertheless, you continue to do your work. How you should do yajnartha means do it as a sacrifice and as an offering. That is very important. Again, as we do all the work, we can do for our own sake to earn money, to get position, power or whatever. But Krishna advises us in this, do it as a sacrifice, as an offering to God. But how can we offer to God certain things? It's not worth offering. Then don't do it, simple as that. When you offer things to God, God gives back much more in return. Now that should not be the reason why you should offer nevertheless. You offer it as out of love, as an outpouring of your love and gratitude for all that God does for you. You want to do something for Him. So whatever He has given, I want to give back to Him. So He says that we have a partnership between gods and humans. And we all know that by now we have so many gods in our culture. God of wind, God of rain, God of earth, God of many, death also like Yama. And we have to offer certain offerings to certain gods. So Brahma created these ideas of worship so that you can please that particular God. And God, when pleased, will give you a lot of boons. At a very physical level, in 2015, 16, there were no rains here. It was quite dry. And the happiest were the boys in the hostel because they could have bath once in 2 days. No water. French bath. But suddenly we thought we will perform a Rudra Homa, Atirudra Mahayajna. And once we performed that, since then the rain has not stopped in Muddanadi. So much so that last year we had tough time even holding water. Everything was flooded. Who wants to do more? In Canada, when we were sitting, some devotees were there and one fellow said, Swami, give me a lot of money so that I can do a lot of seva. I told him, you do a lot of seva and I will give you a lot of money. It's not the other way around. And he says, those who follow my example, whom I have told these things, they benefit. And Krishna says very clearly here that if I stop working even for a moment, the whole world will be destroyed. Here Krishna is not referring to himself as Shri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva. No. He is referring to himself as the very Paramatma.